Good morning, Year 3. This is Miss Callaghan with your maths lesson for Tuesday, the 12th of January 2020. To start this morning, I want you to think about your lesson that you did yesterday and try and remember any rules and keywords that we discovered about multiplication. And while you're thinking about that, I want you to also be thinking about what does the multiplication sign look like. So you've got 4 signs here. Which one is the multiplication sign? I'll give you 30 more seconds to try and recall some of the rules. Okay, hopefully we've had a little bit of a think now. We'll go through them all together now. So, the first rule is when you multiply by 1, the answer is always the number. So, if you are multiplying, for example, 4 multiplied by 1, then the answer is 4. If you are doing 7 multiplied by 1, the answer would be the number, so 7. If you're doing 558 multiplied by 1, the answer would be 558. Our second rule is when you multiply by 0, the answer is always 0. If we were multiplying in 2s, how could we do that? A lot of people know these in their heads and hopefully we'll all be able to do this soon. So I could say to you, what is 2 times 7? You should be able to tell me straight away. If we didn't know, then we could count on in our 2s. So you could get 7 fingers and count on your 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 2 times 7 is 14. And our final rule is when you multiply by 10, you have to move all the digits one place to the left and add a 0 on the end. Okay, so using those 4 rules, we're going to have a try at some calculations. So you should have got a times table sheet in your pack. I'd like you to get that out now. We'll go through the first one together. The question is 10 multiplied by 7. And we know it's a multiplication because we've got our multiplication sign here, which looks like a cross or an X in the alphabet. So going back to our rule, we know we're multiplying by 10. And the rule is we need to move all the digits one place to the left and add a 0 on the end. So our number is 7. As you can see, it's all laid out like we would in our books. A number per a square. So 7 is currently in the ones column. We're going to move it one place to the left. So it would be in the tens column. And we're going to add a 0 onto the end. So 10 times 7 equals 70. And that's how you're going to write your calculations on your sheets. Have a try at this calculation sheet now, either until you've finished or for about 10 minutes. And then when you're ready, click play to carry on with the rest of the lesson. For today's main part of the lesson, we're going to be moving on from what we were doing yesterday, where we were grouping our objects, to turning these groups into calculations. So to start with, have a look at the cubes. How many can we see? How many groups are there first? I can see quite clearly that there's 2 groups. So there are 2 equal groups of how many cubes in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 2 equal groups of 6. If we were going to add the cubes together, so we need to add the 2 groups together, how many have we got on this side? We've already counted, we know we've got 6. So we would do 6, add how many is on this side? It's an equal group, so it's got to be 6. But we could count to double check. 6 add 6 equals, using our addition, 6 add 6 equals 12. And to double check that, we could count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we need to try and turn it into a multiplication sum, just like we've answered for our starter task. So there are 2 equal groups of 6. So we are doing 2 multiplied by or times by 6. And it's going to give us the same answer of 12. Again, we could check that using our times tables just to double check we've got the right answer. So 2 times 6, 6 fingers out and count in 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we know that the answer is going to be 12. Let's have a try at another example. So this time it's asking us to write a word sentence, a repeated addition and a multiplication calculation for the picture. So our word sentence is going to be, there are how many dice? We know there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 dice with how many dots on? 1, 2. With 2 equal dots on. Our repeated addition, we've got 4 boxes, so we know that we need to add the dots together. How many dots are there? We've got 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. 2 add 2 add 2 add 2 equals 8. And finally, what is our multiplication calculation? So we could look either at the picture, we could look at our word sentence, or we could look at our repeated addition. We know that we're doing 2 add 2 add 2 add 2. So that is 4 lots of 2, or 4 times 2. And the answer is going to be 8. Let's double check, get 4 fingers out, count in your 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Multiplication is commutative, so that means we could write it in any order. The calculation for this picture could be written as 4 times 2 equals 8, or 2 times 4 equals 8. Commutative just means that both the calculations will give the same total, no matter what order you write them in. Remembering that multiplication is commutative, how could we write this equation? So we can see we've got a repeated addition, 3 add 3 add 3 add 3. How many times, how many lots of 3 have we got? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 times 3. Or 3 times 4, because we can write it in any order. Can you have a try at doing the next one? So we've got 5. How many lots of 5 have we got? Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 lots of 5. So we could have 5 times 6, or 6 times 5? First, I'd like you to have a go at trying these in your maths books. So you need to look at the picture, and I want you to write me a sentence that describes the pictures. There are how many equal groups with how many chocolates, and then I want you to write me a repeated addition and a multiplication calculation, making sure that you have one number in each square. Pause the video now to try this. Next, also in your maths book, I want you to copy and complete this table. So there is one column with the addition calculations in and one column with the multiplications in. And as you can see, the first one's already been done. So the question was 2 add 2 add 2 add 2. Count up how many times 2 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the multiplication is 4 times 2. Now it's have a try at completing the 3 blanks. If you want to challenge yourself, then have a try at this challenge question. I'd like to see a lot of red and orange children trying to complete the pattern and have a go at question 3. Pause this video until you've completed these questions in your books, and then when you're ready, press play to move on to your final task. The last thing that I want you to do in your maths lesson today is answer the questions in your pack or books. So red and orange have got some varied fluency and some reasoning and problem solving questions to answer. Yellow and green group, you have got a worksheet that looks like this to answer, and blue, you are answering the addition questions. So you need to count up how many fruit there are, add them together and write your answer in the circles. If you have any questions or if you're stuck at all, then you can email your teachers. They're available every day from 8:30 until 3:30. Or if you tell your adult that phones you up this week that you found it really difficult, then we will be able to help you. I'm going to leave you now to get on with your task. I hope you enjoy the rest of your lessons today. Keep working hard. Well done, everybody.